To travel is to possess the world. This comment was made by Burton Holmes, the father of the travelogue, and it is as true today as ever. My name is Doug Jones, and for 40 years I have produced travelogues. I have taken my cameras to 68 different countries around the world. I have traveled on every form of transportation, and I have seen the world change over several decades. This is a travel film memoir of my experiences making travelogues and my life filming the world. Harold and Maxine Jones were married in 1941. They had 2 children, a daughter named Roxana and a son they named Douglas, who at an early age displayed a certain amount of precociousness. My father inspected aircraft engines for the Naval Air Force. After the war, he took a job that would change his family's life. He went to work for Trans World Airlines. Trans World Airlines was the airline of movie stars and royalty. It was owned by Howard Hughes and based in Kansas City. My father inspected the engines of the Constellation, TWA's premier plane of the era. Howard Hughes commissioned the Constellation, an aircraft that could fly high above the weather. As an employee, my father could take his family on vacations anywhere TWA flew. It was a rarefied world of luxury. We always dressed our best to travel the world. But long before Howard Hughes launched TWA, another man would have an impact on my life. His name was Burton Holmes. He was born in Chicago in 1870, and he invented the live lecture travelogue. He brought images of the world to auditoriums across America. In 1957, Thayer Soule would take over his work. Meanwhile, I was working as a banjo player. I put myself through college playing with Dixieland bands, and I traveled the world on every college break with TWA. Then in 1967, I went to see a travelogue on Austria. The man narrating the film from the stage was Curtis Nagel. I thought that would be a fun way to make a living, and for 40 years I have. I went into the travelogue business in 1968 just as the middle class was starting to travel, and before cable, DVD, and the internet made the live presentation somewhat obsolete. But during its heyday, the auditoriums were filled, and the travelogue was a major form of popular entertainment. I decided to start this film memoir in Los Angeles, my home. My earliest memories of travel were from Kansas City to California in 1957 to visit the newly opened Disneyland. We went to the Chinese Theater and gazed at the footprints and handprints of the stars, and even at that early age, somehow I knew that this would become my home. The attraction of Los Angeles was instant. The balmy weather, the endless sunshine, and it was the land where movies were made. Today, Los Angeles is a world-class city, the most international city of the world. Our journey around the world is going to begin in Los Angeles. From here, we head northwest to the last frontier of Alaska. I made my first trip to Alaska in the early 1980s. I returned in 1989 to produce a film called The Great Alaska Cruise. At that time, 2 ships made the journey each week. They were only 30,000 tons, a far cry from the dozen ships that make the journeys now, each of them 100,000 tons or more. At Whittier, we boarded a train for Anchorage and the north. In the 1980s, cruise lines began taking passengers by rail to Alaska's interior. Along the way, we passed the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. Started in 1973, it was the first large-scale project to deal with permafrost. The trains travel daily between Anchorage and Fairbanks. We will be stopping at Denali National Park. Buses take visitors out into the park in the early morning hours to see the wildlife. Denali National Park is a protected habitat filled with caribou, elk, bighorn sheep, and grizzly bears. But the most memorable experience of that journey was flying in a Cessna over the Alaska Range. I had never seen mountains so close, so dramatic, and covered with so much snow in summer. It was this trip that inspired me to learn how to fly. Within a year, I had my pilot's license, and over 20 years, I logged 2,500 hours flying to show my travelogue films. The Alaska Railroad returns to Anchorage and then on to Whittier. But before reboarding the ship, I took a small vessel out of Whittier to film the Columbia Glacier. This is one of the largest tidewater glaciers of Alaska. Massive icebergs calve off into the sea, creating a stunning frozen panorama.